Hello. Today I want to talk about drawing or doing art as close to your medium as possible. And I know this is a bit weird to say because you may be wondering what like a medium is. And when I think of like a medium, I think of say drawing, painting, or maybe some other type of mixed media. And different mediums have different quirks to them. Everything's a bit different. You kind of have to learn something new, but some skills kind of transfer to other things. Not one to one, but sometimes in a way. Usually, when I think of that, I think of learning to have strong rendering drawing skills before doing painting. Not always. I mean, some people who paint may want to only paint and do it in a more abstract way rather than focusing on rendering any given thing. But I think it's important that you think about what you want to do and try to get to it as close as possible if you can. Personally, I've been putting off a lot of the stuff that I want to because I need to get my drawing rendering skills a lot higher, and it's something I've been working on every day. And I'm glad that I can do that every day. But there are certain aspects that I am trying to be aware of as I go along. Another thing is sit versus stand versus crouch. So sometimes when I'm drawing, there are different positions I would be in. I think what's always important is that you're not hurting yourself in any way. And what I mean by that is it's bad to sit for any long period of time, it's bad to stand for any long period of time, and it's bad to crouch for any long period of time. What we are meant as humans, or if anyone else who isn't human watching it, we're meant to be like moving occasionally, frequently, and you're kind of doing something for long periods of time in an unnatural way. So it's important that you're aware of your body when you are doing this. So if you frequently draw by like sitting down in a chair or like just sitting on the ground, if you transfer to say standing, it's gonna throw a curveball at you. And I've learned this multiple times. Sometimes I even like drawing when I stand more than when I sit. But I will tell you, it takes a little getting used to, and it kind of throws you out of the zone. Personally, a lot of the drawing that I've been doing, I've been sitting because I'm a bit limited in room, actually. So that's sometimes there's nothing you can do. But I will say that there are other times, like if I was ever drawing in nature, I may have to crouch. And I have to tell you, I exercise and I consider myself like I lift weights occasionally as well. I consider myself having some strength when it comes to crouching, but it's like when you're drawing, like, and you're gonna be crouching for like longer periods of time. And when I say a longer period of time, I mean like maybe 30 minutes plus. And it's like it gets hard after a while. Like you eventually become shaking a bit if you don't have a way to sit down. I mean, you know, I feel like I could stand for hours. I feel like I can probably sit for hours. Although I do feel pain from one of those eventually. But yeah, crouching, I have a lot less time when it comes to that. And you kind of have to wonder, like, how does that affect your drawing? You're kind of in a position you're not used to, and you're trying to do it. That was the other thing, because, left hand or right hand. And I know there was, like, that one, like, you don't always have to have a hand to do this. I want to say I even have heard of people. There was one artist who had some type of issue, and he was actually able to draw using his feet. So I guess I should say like, or some, is the right word appendage? Or grasper. I'll say like a grasp. Something like that. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When it comes to drawing and I think of it, I use like my three fingers of my right hand, and I draw with my shoulder. So that's really how I tend to do it. I use my wrist sometimes as well, just for finer control. But for the most part, it's things like that to be aware of. If I would decide to start drawing with my left hand, um, the funny thing is when I was learning to draw originally, I actually tried using my left hand for a while, and I would alternate. But yeah, I never really kept it. But you probably can if you want to. But you could always learn it the other way, I would think, um, depending how you want to go. But the point I'm trying to say is it's going to throw a curveball at you if you're going to decide to start drawing with your left hand rather than your right hand if you're used to it, or if you're, whatever you're not used to and you change it. It's going to throw a curveball for you, whether you're standing. And also, I would say grip position. I'll say I always hold everything with my thumb, pointing finger, and middle finger. Um, but like there are other methods of holding certain pencils or brushes. Like there's like an underhand and overhand grip, and with those, it will throw you for a curveball. So do be aware of that. That you may want to get practice in doing that if you plan to. Nothing says you have to, but just be aware of these things, because being as close to your medium as possible is incredibly important to do if you really want to do it. You may just be trying it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it could be incredibly helpful to do that. The other thing I want to talk about is surface material. I either like to draw on my drawing tablet or Strathmore Bristol Series 300 Smooth. I like a smooth surface to draw on. And the thing is, when I am thrown a surface that's very gritty, and there are a lot of those types, I can't do it. Like, I mean, I'm able to an extent, but like, I just don't like it. It's my own opinion. So it's like the problem is, since I'm used to drawing on glossy, smooth surfaces, it throws a curveball to me when I'm not used to that resistance, because it depends on resistance of texture. But yeah, it's really important to be aware of things like that. Many people may not think of that, but these things could just throw you out of your flow. And it's important to be aware of that, be mindful with it, and know that, like, even if you're switching to, like, something, say, like, a different canvas size, I think that that's also going to throw you for a curveball, because it's putting more pressure on your brain because you're not used to it, I would say. And I know that's weird to say, but it's like, it's hard to get used to new things. It's very hard to do that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was traditional versus digital. Originally I started out doing traditional art, but then I moved to digital, and it was a totally different drawing experience, drawing on a tablet with nibs instead of using like paper and pencil. I guess I didn't talk about angle of surface. That's another important thing to be aware of and keep in mind. The angle of the surface. That's another thing that could throw you for a curveball. So be aware of all of the things that can really throw your medium, or just throw you a curveball, and getting used to it, and be aware of literally everything. And I know that's really weird to say, but it's something that I've been aware of, and something like I may not have noticed in certain points. So like, don't punish yourself when you start, say, maybe changing from a 45-degree angle to maybe like a 90-degree angle, or something like that. Like all of these, which would probably be a bit uncomfortable, but things like that, or even like maybe like a 20-degree angle. Those things will take some getting used to. So do be aware of that. And I think it's okay to have your preferences. I think that every medium kind of has different quirks to it. May just require getting some used to. But yeah, do try to practice as close as possible to how you plan to do it in the future. I hope this video helps you. If you have a question, please ask below. If you like the video, please like it. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much for listening. I do greatly appreciate it. Oh yeah, and when I was drawing over here before, I was drawing with my left hand. In case you didn't know, you probably, maybe the point got across. But yeah, thanks again for listening.